Welcome back to Greybush Middle East Productions. Supporters of Hamas's genocidal attack on Jews on October 7th attempt to justify it as a reasonable and valid response to Israeli occupation. However, the fact is that there is a well-documented history of Palestinian anti-Semitism that even predates Nazi Germany and Hitler, going back at least to the 1920s. In fact, Palestinians' anti-Semitic ideology is linked directly to Hitler and Nazi Germany via the close personal relationship of the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem, Amin Al-Husseini, and Adolf Hitler himself. Al-Husseini viewed his Muslim ideology as being in lockstep to that of Nazi ideology, because both have at their core a tenet that Jews cause all the problems in the world, and also that the only solution is to wipe Jews off the face of the planet. Al-Husseini's anti-Semitic ideology was well supported by the general Muslim Palestinian population, and there was never any audible Palestinian voice opposing Al-Husseini's vile anti-Semitic ideology. But he was indeed a well-loved spiritual leader of the Muslim people living in the geographical area called Palestine.
This Palestinian-Nazi connection cannot be ignored because it completely disproves the allegation that Israeli occupation forced Palestinians to hate Jews in the State of Israel. History is not something that can be ignored or cast aside, but rather it should be studied, understood, and embraced. Because absent an understanding of the past, we will remain unable to move toward a peaceful solution for all people going forward. People, especially Muslims, must acknowledge the anti-Semitic ideology underlying the Palestinian movement and must condemn it and cast it aside, because otherwise there will never be peace between them and Israel. And while it is not the sole nor singular cause of the ongoing conflict, Israel too must make considerable concessions and changes to advance peace. Casting aside anti-Semitic ideology of the Palestinian movement is a fundamental precondition to any possibility of peace. Israel rightly will never accept the creation of a neighbor state who is dedicated to its destruction. No nation would.
Now, years ago, the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem was known to associate with Nazi German leader Adolf Hitler. He even played a role in pushing the Nazis to exterminate the Jewish population of Europe. Well, now, the Kedem auction house has published 6 previously unseen photos of the religious and political leader in Nazi Germany, which go further in retelling the story of this important moment in time.
There are already photos of the Grand Mufti, Hitler, and Himmler circulating the internet, but the Nazis in these photos are less high profile. Kedem speculates that they include Arthur Seyss, Inquart, the Austrian Reichskommissar of the occupied Netherlands, Fritz Groba, Germany's ambassador to Iraq, and Iraqi politician Rashid Ali al-Gailani. Allegedly, the Grand Mufti's ties to the Nazis pressured the British to oppose Zionism during World War II under fear that the Arabs would side with the Axis powers. The Mufti even reportedly once told Hitler that the Arabs are Germany's natural friends because they have the same enemies as Germany, namely the Jews.